Hi everyone. Today is the day 7 of learning data science. And yes, yesterday we discussed about certain function pertaining to strings. We discussed about how we can operate those functions, what are the basic syntax for that, and the leftover things pertaining to strings we will be discussing today. And in half of the session, we will be discussing the strings, and later in this video you will learn about the lists. Okay, so let's not waste much of the time and start with the session. So first, as every day, which I share with you guys, is to read the mind maps again. What is the mind map? So mind map again is a pictorial representation of your data, whatever data is in the Excel or in the Google Sheets or in your Google Drive or Google Doc. Anyone reading those data can't be able to understand it, right? Just by looking at those data. So for that, you must need a flowchart. You must need a mind map for that. You must need some architecture for that, explaining all those things. So how you can open the mind map? Just type Python mind map, and it will redirect to you the mind map. And how to operate it? Just double click on anything which you want to open it. You can see that various branches have been opened pertaining to Python. So yes, we were on data types in Python. So what were the data types in Python? We were discussing about the lists, and in list we discussed about what is a list, and anything which is under quotes, whether it's single quote, double or triple. So it called as a string, and a string is a sequence of character, means like its sequence with it gets changes its order. And also we discussed about whenever we want to access any character, any element within that list, so that we can beautifully do that with the help of indexing. So the first character of your string is denoted by the index number 0, and the last character when is denoted by -1. And again, when we are thinking of a positive indexing, so positive indexing always starts from left to right, and negative indexing always starts from right to left. So these all were the things we discussed already. We discussed about the slicing, what is the basic syntax for slicing. You can see start, stop, and step. We discussed all those things. Then we also discussed about the string formatting, what are the various ways pertaining to formatting, how we can format the strings and all those stuffs. So meanwhile, you guys just read the mind map, and I'm opening Anaconda Navigator. Why Anaconda Navigator? Because it provides us the flexibility to use different IDs. And again, what particular ID will be using? We will be using Spider, because Spider is a beginner friendly, and there are various IDs as well, whether it's VS Code, whether it's PyCharm. But again, each type of IDs is for someone who know the basics and who know particular this programming language. But as a beginner, you should stick to Spider because it provides various things. And all these things I have already explained in my video, that why one should use a Spider. So now let's jump on to our mind map while my Anaconda Navigator is still opening. So you can see how we can use the string formatting, or this S denotes as a string present in that particular uh, string. Means like, for example, if you're using S and my name is Alice, so every character present in this string will be getting printed. And age I am giving percentage D. So percentage D again fetch digits. And this is the particular syntax for writing those. And again, we also discussed about the how we can uh, pass the argument numbers here. Like for example, if we were passing name and age, so every time name this positional argument, its value will be 0, and for the age it will be 1. So it doesn't matter what we are writing under quotes. The only thing matters is what we are writing under curly braces. So for example, in the curly braces, if we have written it 1, so it will fetch the value as age, and in place of name it will get printed age, and similarly with age as well. So the most important thing is you just keep it in mind, what type of the positional number you are mentioning is. Again, positional number start from 0. Okay, anything, whether it's slicing, whether it's indexing, whether it's positional arguments, anything which in Python or any programming language, it start from 0, unlike the real life which starts from 1. Okay, and we also discussed about the F string. F string is quite simple. You just have to write F, and within the curly braces you can write whatever thing you want to get printed here. For example, there is no need for me to write this positional name. There is no uh, need for me to write percentages or percentage d. I can similarly write that particular variable name at, and it will get printed. So this F string is the most easy part when it comes to a string format. Okay. I hope my Navigator has been opened. Yes, and here you can see there are various tools, there are various things related to Python. So here what I will do, I will just launch my Spider window. Okay. So you can see the window is already open, and what we discussed yesterday, we discussed till the count. Yeah, we discussed till count, and how we can write any string function is first you have to write the string here. As for example, your string is stored uh, in a variable s, and if you want to execute any function, so s dot the function name, whether it's enter, whether it's substring, whether it's anything, then you can use the parenthesis here, and within this you can write whatever you would like to do. Means like, for example, whatever operations you would find that here it's good to go, and whatever is needed here. So this is the basic syntax for you guys. So the most important thing for you guys is to follow the basics, because once you master the basics, you will like will be carried on, whether you are using any machine learning, whether you are using Python in anything. The most important thing is the basic. So I hope you guys have understood how to write any function name within string. So you have to write the string name here, and then dot, and then again the function name, right? So now let's start with this alnum function. Basically, what this alnum function does, this is alnum function with look for the alphabets and numeric in this particular string. Al num means this is al, alpha, and num means numeric. So it is in short form, alpha numeric. So what I am doing, I am checking num dot is al num, means like any alphanumeric thing is present inside that string or not. Alphanumeric, again, it will check again for numbers and characters. It will not check for any special character or spaces. Means like, for example, if I will give a space here and I will give special characters like this. So if I will execute this line of code, then you can see it's already executed. And when I'm executing this, it's giving me the value as false. Why false? Because there is a special character as well, which is present here. So it will not give me the correct answer, right? So is the alnum function, what does it checks in your string whether your string contains only characters and special function characters and numeric. Okay, there is no special characters, there is no spaces inside the string. And when I will execute this line of code, and again when I execute this, the function, the output will show true. Why? Because right now there is only characters and numbers. So isAlnum function always checks the characters and numbers inside that particular string. And I hope you guys have understood this. So here you can practice certain line of codes with Alnum. And the next function is alpha. So I know what I told you guys here in Alnum is al means alpha and num means numeric. Okay. So here alpha means it will check that there is only alphabet inside the string or not. If I will add a number here as well, I've added a number and then execute this line of code and then execute it, it will always give me false. Why it will give me false? Because it is a number containing a, whether it's regarding number, whether it's regarding spaces, whether it's regarding any special characters as well, every time the output will be false. Why? Because there is that particular thing is present inside that string. It will check only the alphabets when I will execute this line of code as this contains only alphabets, and when this I will execute it, you will see the output is true. Why it is true? Because this particular string contains only alphabets. So for that reason, it's giving true. Okay. And now next on, move on to the next thing. By the name itself, you can see the digit. Digit means but it will check the numbers here, and basically in numbers system how many digits are there. I want you guys to comment on the comment section. So in number C system there are only 10 digits, and with those 10 digits the numbers are formed till infinity. Okay, and what are those 10 digits? That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 until 9. These are the 10 digits which is being used in number system. Whenever we are writing 10, so 10 is a combination of 1 and 0, 2 digit, 11, 1, 1, 12, anything, whether it's two digit number, three digit number, it's the combination of these 10 digits itself. And these numbers which are in infinite, all those are in the combination of these particular 9 digits itself. There is none other than any these digits, right? So each digit function, what does it checks? It checks that does our string contains only numbers or not. Okay, so if I will execute this line of code and when I will execute it, you will see the output will be false. Why it is will be false? Because there is no number pertaining to in this particular string. If I will add a number here, if I will add a digit here, and if I will execute this line of code and then again I will execute the following line, then you will see the output is true. Why it is true? Because this particular string contains only number, and for that reason it's giving true. Okay, and for again I have told you guys what is particular this function doing is checking your type. And again in type in Python you should understand the type conversion. Even if type conversion, and again type conversion, there are two types of type conversion. One is implicit type conversion, and another is explicit type conversion. And again, what is implicit type conversion? What is explicit type conversion? So implicit type conversion is Python is a dynamic programming language. It identifies that particular data type by itself. For example, if you're writing n is equal to 10, then again in the second line of code, I will writing n1 is equal to false in, and again in particular line of code, and two, if I will write it as a bool float value, and again in n3 if I will write in a string here. So Python, what it will do, it will identify these particular uh, variables, and you doesn't need any line of code, any command for Python to identify it. For that reason, Python is a dynamically typed language, and in implicit type conversion, it identifies automatically. Okay, and if we wanna change the type, so here in explicit type conversion, the type changes manually. Okay, manually in the sense, if for example n is an integer, right? If I will see the type here and I will write n, so you can see if type is integer. I hope you guys, I have explained it earlier in my video. If I haven't gone through it, so just go through it. I have taught in the day 2 Python in my playlist as a data science. So you can certainly go through it. How we can check the type. Again, how we can change the type here. If you wanna change the type of n as a float. So I will just simply write the data type name here, and if I will write a float, then you can see the value, it will convert it to 10.0, right? And if I want to change the value of n1 as well, so you can see it will assign 0.0. 0.0, why? Because in Python, true is always equal to 1. True is always equal to 1 and false is always equal to 0. 1 means true and 0 means false. In any any programming languages, the programming code, whenever we are writing 0, 0 means false and 1, 1 means true. For that reason, it's showing 0.0. If I will write a true here, if I will write a true here and then I will execute this line of code, and when I will execute this as well, so you can see it's 1.0. Why it's 1.0? Because it's true. Python identifies true as 1. So for that reason, it's showing this, right? And if I will change, for example, this n1 value as str string, so I will write as str here. And when I will execute this line of code, so it's present under the quotes. You can see, and anything which is written under the quotes is considered as a string, right? If we want to change the n3 to integer value, and then we will execute this line of code, so you can say we can't change it, the string to integer, because obviously for that you need a ORD function for that. You can't simply change it, right? ORD function, when you are applying it, expected a length of character, but the string of length of 5 is found. It will check one by one. For that, you need a loop for that. So simply you can't change its data type. Whenever it's string to int, and you need a loop for that, you need to convert every single character for that. For example, if I want to convert the first character of n3, and when I will execute this line of code, you will see the answer will be 97. Why? Because in the ASCII value, uh, the values of capital A till capital Z, it's from 65 till 90. Capital A holds the value of 65 and capital Z holds the value of 90. And whenever you are using the the lowercase number, that is small a till small z, so small a starts from 97 and small z goes till 121. So it's like this. It will show the value like this. You can't convert everything at a time in a number. For that, you need a loop for that. For example, for I in N3, okay? And if you wanna convert everything for D of I, and if I will printing, let's use a print statement here itself, and if I am printing for D of I, so here you can see it that, yes, my bad, I forgot. And if I will execute it, you can see 97, 115, 100. So every integer is being get. printed. So whenever you are converting any string to integer, so it will not convert just by typing the name here itself. Okay. So I hope you guys have understood this. If you haven't understood this, then this meet is already being recorded. You can just move your video backwards and you can watch it any numbers of times you are willing to watch. Okay. So now let's move on to the next part. Next part is the capitalize function. Capitalize function, what does it does? It capitalizes your first character. For example, in capitalize function, whenever you are using any function, I told you to write the string name. For example, I will write the string name here and 3. And when I will execute this line of code, then you will see the first character, which was already small here, is got printed as capital A. So what does capitalize function do? Capitalize function, it capitalizes only your first character. Okay. And what this upper function does? Upper function, it will converts your every letter in uppercase. Okay. So for example, here name is Yashvi. And if I will execute this line of code, you can see in Yashvi, these four letters are in capital and these two letters are in smaller case. And if I will execute this line of code, then you will see the whole string is being converted in uppercase. Similarly, it applies for lowercase as well. If you want to convert any uppercase character in lowercase, you can just simply write name dot lower, and by executing the statement, you can see all those capital case have been converted to lowercase, right? And in swap case means like it will just swap the cases. Something which is in uppercase, it will swap to lowercase. Something which is in lowercase, it will swap to uppercase, right? And when I will execute this line of code, you will see that is already been swapped. Yes, which was but previously a capital uppercase letters, it got changes to lowercase, and the lowercase character vi, it got changed to uppercase. Okay. And what is it? Name dot lower, again it is the same thing which we have discussed. In this name, the string is example, everything is in uppercase, it changed everything in a lowercase. And same it happens with name dot upper as well. Okay. Now we will see what is the replace function. What does replace function does? So by the name itself, you can see it that replace means we are replacing any values. We are replacing the characters. We are replacing the substrings. So or by the name itself, you can be able to identify replace means replacing the things. Okay. So for example, if I want to replace is with was, so what it will do, it will always replace the first value by default. If you haven't mentioned any occurrence, so it will by default change the first value. Again, the first value is not this is, it's this is. It will change this value. Okay. Why? Because this substring in this particular string comes first. So for that reason, it will change this. So when I will execute this line of code, and again when I will execute this as well, so you can say the was it changes. Sorry, my bad. It will change the all is with was, not only the first. It will change everything. Okay. So sorry for that. I was just got confused with it. So yes, uh, I will repeat it. Whenever you are using any replace value, it will change the all occurrence of your substring within that string. And if you are not giving any occurrence of that particular substring, so by default it will change the all the occurrences of that particular substring into your given substring. Like you want it to change is with was, so it changes like this. Okay. And so for example, here I have given 2. Okay. So here what it will do, it will replace only the second value here. Okay. And if I will print it, let me execute this line of code again. Executed it, and then I will use this as well. So you will see the was. Okay. So till second, it will change everything till second of occurrence. And when I will write here 3, or sorry, my bad, 3, and when I will execute it, so it will change this is, it will not change this because Python is a case sensitive at its, and considers this string as a different string. So for that reason, it will not change it. And when I will execute this line of code, it- and again, when I will use this, you can see that the was changed, and this string remain as it is because again, it considered. And if I will change capital E to small I, so this is will not get changed. This is will be changed. Why? Because we are using 3 here. And if I will execute this line of code, and when I will execute it, so you will see this is will not get changed. See, the was, and here was, and after that is remains same because you are using 3. Right? So I hope you guys have understood this. And now the next part is whenever you want to join anything within that particular string, within those characters, so we can use the join function. You can write the substring name here, then with dot join, and within that join function, you have to write the string name. For example, if you wanna join the characters with asterisks or dollar say, for example. And if I will execute this line of code, and then I will execute this, so you can see it that after every character, I am joining dollar sign here. And now you can see there is a second example. I have used reply dot split, basically split function. What it does, uh, it splits your words after spaces. Means like after this there is a space, after is also there is a space, after a there is a space, so after every spaces it will consider as a different string. So here what I wanted a dollar sign to join within the spaces, means like after each word I wanted a dollar sign here. So for that reason this is space is being here. And if I want to add a space here as well, so you can see it clearly. So for that reason, you can see this dollar sign, and after dollar sign, there is a space. For that reason, you can see a space here. Okay. So like this, it operates. So I hope you guys have understood the join function, what does it does, and the split function as well, what does it does. For example, if I want to print uh, a reply dot split function, and if I will use this, so you can see it will convert the string into a list. And again, here you can see this is a divided the string based upon the spaces. Okay. So I hope you guys have understood the split function, the join function, what does the join function does. And the same thing it's being explained here. It's like what I've explained you above, the following solve the split method. If I will execute this kind of code, and if I will execute it, you will see that it is like this. And when I will again execute this line of code, you will see that every particular word before spaces is being considered as a different string, and it will store always in a list. Okay. And if I will see it like when I will using string name, then and then split function here, and what I'm doing here, I'm writing one here. Okay. So what this one will do, basically this one will split only the first part. The second part you can see it is as it is. Okay. So for example, let's take this string so that you will be able to understand more clearly. Okay. And if I'll be using reply function here, and if I'll be executing this kind of code, you can see that this is considered as a one string. Then there here will be the space, and again this all particular thing is in one string. Before you can see it that when I was not using any arguments here, so it was converting every word into a different string in the list. But now it's converting only one. If you want to convert, for example, three words, right? So you have to just put a three here, and when you execute it, you can see this is a. It's converted here, and then again after string example, is this a value string? It's considered as a whole as a fourth string. So it is like this, and I hope you guys have understood. And there are various functions pertaining to string. And if you want to see, then you can type dir and type the str, then you can see the various functions pertaining to string. If you want to check it, what are the functions pertaining to string? So you can see we have discussed about capitalize, we have discussed about count, we have discussed about center, we have discussed about is alum, is alpha, is digit, lower, upper, join, uh, a split function we have discussed about it, r split, s split, what are those? So for all those stuffs, okay. So these are all the functions pertaining to string. These are all the things. So you can just type dir there. It will give you all the directly pertaining to that string. And when you will type the help, then what it will give? It will give you the certain descriptions of that particular that is lower. So is lower, what it does, it returns true if the string is lower and false. So whenever you want to see the directory, what type of functions are in there in string, so you can use dir, str, and if you want to check uh, the details of that function, so you can use help and then str. So I hope you guys have understood it. So these all things will not be getting displayed in VS Code or in PyCharm. For that reason, I told you guys to use Spider. Okay. So yeah, you just revise by using dir, using help function, and just write the codes with the help of every functions which is there in string. And again, I hope you guys are writing the codes, because again, for programming is just like swimming. If you want to learn how to swim, then you have to practice every day of swimming. Uh, and you have to be consistent with that. And if you forgot just one day, then you have to just start from scratch. Okay. So it's for the same reason, you just keep practicing it and keep doing these things. And again, now we will move on to the next day, data types. So for today, we will be only discussing about the features. Tomorrow, we will be going in depth, right? Because too much of cook spoils the broth. I will not explain everything in a single day. We will go step by step so that you can learn slowly, steadily, and confidently. Okay. So the next data type pertaining to Python is list. Again, what is a list? Anything which is represented under square brackets. Under square brackets is considered as an list. Anything which was written under quotes was considered as string, and anything written under square brackets is considered as a list. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood it. What is a list? And not understood it means like basically what is a list, how we can identify the list. So anything written under square brackets is called a list. Okay. And again, list is also a ordered sequence, means like its sequence doesn't get changes once the list is being built. Its sequence remains the same no matter how many times you are printing that particular string, right? So for example, if I'm executing this kind of code, and when I will execute print list, so you can see at first we have this given Aditya, so Aditya will remain. Similarly, I will execute it again. So again, it will be Aditya. The ordered and sequence will not get changed. So what are the second feature we learned about list is it is the ordered sequence. Okay, it is the ordered sequence of items. The elements present inside the string, inside the list doesn't get changed. It's ordered. And another thing that we can apply indexing just like string if you want to check the first value of it in what particular memory location Aditya is there in list. So you have to do the same thing which you have done in string. You have to just do the square bracket. And again, everything in Python starts from zero. And when I will write list of zeros, you will see Aditya. Similarly, I am going from right to left. If I will go, I'm going from left to right. So I'm using positive indexing. And if I'm going from right to left, then the last character will be on. Just comment it on the comment section. I want you guys to comment it. Obviously, it will be minus one. Yeah. I hope you guys are learning much better. So when I will put minus here, so you will get it 2018. So yes, we can transfer through the lists using indexing and using slicing. So indexing, I have showed you, and again slicing. What do you mean by slicing? Slicing means this will be the start, this will be the end. I'm not writing any start and end value. So come on, tell me what will be the output of this, till how many times the list will go. Does it give the error or it will be executing it? I want you to comment it on the comment section. So be first. Yeah, certain. Yes, obviously it will print all the string, all the list, all the elements inside the list. Why? Because by default, if you are not assigning any value, the start value will be from zero and the end value will be till the last of the string. So if I will execute it, you can see everything what printed. And again, what comes here? It comes the step value. For example, I've given the step here. So yeah, after every two, it will be getting printed. So first Aditya will be printed, then it will take a step of two, that is one and two. Then 2013 will be printed. Then after that, it will again take the step of two, one, and then there is a no elements inside the list. So only Aditya and 2013 will be getting printed. So let's execute it. So you can see Aditya 2013 got printed. And if you are not using any step, so by default, the step value will be 1. So you can see everything got printed. So now you can see that everything we can transverse through the string using indexing and slicing. And again, one thing you have to keep it in mind that in the list was immutable or mutable. I want you guys to comment it. Obviously, it was immutable. You can't change the values within that string. But in list, obviously, you can change the value. For example, in place of Aditya, okay, in place of Aditya, for example, in list one, I'm writing the list name, and in place of Aditya, I want to write Rinash, so you can see if the value will get changed. And if I will print list of one, so you will see instead of Avinash, instead of Aditya, Avinash got printed here. Why? Because there is one more feature which is pertaining to list, that list are mutable, means like we can change the values inside a string. So what are the various uh, characteristics we discussed about list was anything which is enclosed under square brackets is considered as string. String is the ordered sequence of elements. Its order doesn't get changes. We can transfer through the string using indexing and slicing. Strings are mutable data types. We can change the values inside the string. And again, you can see this is a string, this is an integer. And now let's add one more value, a Boolean value here. Okay, now add one decimal value here, float. And if I will execute it, you can see that list contains different data types. It can contain different data types. It's not that you have to stick with only one data type. In list, you can put any numbers of data types here and number of the data types. Okay, you can see the complex data type is also here in the table, right? The complex data type is, and if I will execute this final code, then you can see it's already been, and if I will print this final code, so you can see that everything was printed, whether it's string, whether it's integer, whether it's Boolean value, whether it's float value, or whether it's complex value. Everything is contained inside the list. So these are all the characteristics pertaining to lists. So I hope you guys have understood it. If you haven't understood it, so this video is getting recorded. You can watch n number of times to just make yourself clear. So I hope you guys have understood what all things we discussed today, what all functions pertaining to string we discussed today, what are the characteristics of list we discussed today. So tomorrow we will start with the next part of the list. So till then, I want you guys to just keep practicing it and at least 100 lines of code. But I suggest you should practice 500 to 1000 lines of code so that you can master it within a month. Anyone who don't know the programming language, yes, you will be able to solve the DSA questions in the lead code, in the hacker rank within a month if you will be start practicing 500 to 1000 lines of code every day. So I hope you guys would be practicing it. So till then, bye bye. And yes, obviously, if you don't like something, if you then you are free open to just write it on the comment section what type or what particular thing you didn't like about the video, or whether it's regarding the explanation part, whether it's regarding the coding part, or anything. If you wanted to write it, right? So you can is free to give the feedbacks because I am a person who learns from my mistakes. If you guys will identify my mistakes, if you guys just write it there, so I will make sure that from the next videos, I will not continue it. I will not continue it and I will make sure that my videos will get better. So till then, I hope you guys just keep practicing it. And again, yes, good night. Bye bye. Take care and jai Hind.